Hello, and welcome to another 10 Bucks and Udder. Today's a little different. We're not doing a game, we're doing a benchmarking program. It's called 3DMark. What that does is it benchmarks your CPU and your GPU and tells you your score as far as frames per second, such as, as that, as far as what you're getting. This is a great tool to benchmark your system with to see, exactly how many frames per second you're actually getting and what your temperatures are. Now, what I have on my other monitor is called HWMonitor. It's made by the same people who do CPU ID. And what I have it doing is checking my temperatures, especially the hotspot. You want to keep an eye on that. Anything close to 100 C is not good. It'll start throttling down on you. And in my opinion, even if you have a brand new card, you need to take it apart and check the thermal paste. I've been working on computers for over 25 years, and I can't tell you how many times I've taken a brand new heatsink off only to find out that it's been barely pasted at all, or they've globbed on so much of it that it caused temperature issues. So this will help you in a way with a hardware monitor and with this program to be able to keep an eye on your temperatures to make sure that you're not overheating the card and cooking it. So with that said, let's go ahead and fire it up and I'll show you what it does. What I do is I run a custom and I change it to 1440 since that's the native of my monitor. There's no sense in me running 4K. I want to get a representation of what it's going to do at native resolution, not at 4K, because I only got a 6700 XT, and 4K it's just not built for that with the 5600X. So I run it at 1440, and then I change trilinear to aniscopic, and I believe that's all I do in here as far as that goes. And I'm not running the demo. There's a small demo that plays before it actually does the benchmark. You can run it if you want. I'm not going to for sake of time. But with that said, let's go ahead and run the custom benchmark and get it going. And I'm going to keep an eye on my temperatures over on the other spot. Again, you want to keep an eye on the hot spot. The hot spot is the hottest part of the card or of the chip. And you want to make sure that that's not reaching, again, like up to 100 C, because then you're really looking into some troubles with your card. If you're having graphical issues, or you're having slowdown, or you're having jitters or something like that, between the two programs, it should give you a basic idea of where your problems lie. Either because your CPU is overheating, because it'll tell you that on hardware monitor, or if your graphics card is overheating. So I'd run the pair of them and then keep a good close eye on your temperatures. And again, if you got a brand new card or even a used one, a couple years old, it's time to do the thermal paste on there, and you should really get that done. And I don't know if it is on the camera, but right now I'm stuck. I'm not moving anywhere. Oh, camera's unstuck now. Yeah. It's getting a little jittery because it's loading in the program. But this is it right now. So at 1440p, I'm running around 60 frames a second, which isn't too bad. I mean, that's about where you want to be. Most monitors run at 60 frames a second unless you purchased a higher running monitor, higher hertz monitor. My other secondary monitor is 1080p, but it runs at 240 hertz. And you will notice the difference in your gameplay and the visuals running at 240 hertz. Of course, your computer has to be able to run 240 frames a second in order to do and take advantage of 240 hertz. Between the program and lossless scaling, you can get your computer up there to the 300s relatively easy. And if you don't know what lossless scaling is, I do have a video of it in my YouTube channel, and it'll go over basically what it does, because it increases your frames per second. And you'd be able to hit that sweet spot of your monitor. So even if you're at 100, 144, 240, 300, lossless scaling will help you gain more frames per second and run smoother on your visuals. So highly recommended. So this is right now testing out my my graphics card, and the hottest it's gotten so far is 89C. So it's running nice, which it should, because I've already redone the thermal paste on it, and I put new thermal pads as well to make sure it's cut down. And before I even did it, my hotspot was hovering around 105C. So when I took it apart again, there was hardly any thermal paste on the CPU. There was a lot of dry spots on it. Not dry as in dry thermal paste, but as far as not having any thermal paste, it was really horrendous. So it's a huge gain in what I've been able to do in just changing the thermal paste and the oh, where is it? It's on my desk here somewheres. There it is. So what I use is Arctic MX4. So let's get that in there. Arctic MX4. You can pick this up relatively cheap off Amazon. Well worth it. And now what it's going to do is it's going to run the CPU test and give you an idea how the graphics are performed on your CPU. I've only got a 5600X, so it's not going to be the greatest. But if you have a higher, better CPU, then this should represent that as well. If you're going to do any computer building or anything like that, this is highly recommended. And you can get, it's got different benchmarks on there, so that way if you have a lesser computer or even a more powerful computer. See, right now I'm getting all jittery on my screen because it's running my CPU to the max. So I don't know how this is going to come out as far as the video. Hopefully it comes out okay. But I don't like to edit. I like to run it just as I do it. I hate editing. So if there's any screw-ups, then I apologize for the screw-ups. But I want to get the point across. And I really don't feel like redoing it over and over again. I do several videos in one day and then post them up as scheduled on YouTube. So if you have any comments or you have any questions, or if you want to see something different, give me a little bleepity bloop down below there, and I'll see if I can't make it happen for you. And because we're doing a custom benchmark, it's not going to give us a it's going to give us the results, but it's not going to give us results of other people's benchmarks versus what we're doing. You'd have to run it in the 4K and not as a custom benchmark in order to see what you're doing. But in 4K, this thing's only spitting out around 30 to 35 frames a second on this. So here we go. I'm going to show you what the results are here in case you want to run it yourself and get an apples to apples comparison to what I got and what you're going to get running the same stuff. Then there you go. I got a graphics score of 10,843 and a CPU score of 3,347. Anyway, that's it for this video. Highly recommend getting it if you want to keep an eye on your card's performance and its temperatures and stuff like that. And especially when you do any upgrading, you want to get a baseline of where you were to where you're going to become or be with your new hardware that you installed. So anyway, other than that, that's about it. Peace out.